Okay. Hello, everybody. Um, classic technical
I
difficulty.
haven't seen it. Okay.
Classic technical difficulty situation. I think that the head was is now normal. Crowley's head is ready to go. Are you seeing it? Is everything working
Yeah, everything
perfectly?
looks good. I'm not in incredible pain anymore.
Okay. Well, that's
So,
wonderful. Because on my screen, it actually is not showing anything. It's just on the starting soon screen. If that's
it's no, it's we're on.
okay, we're on. It's DnDTime Brews.
Hi.
Welcome to DnDTime Brews, a show that is normally run, technologically speaking, by Jeremy. And I'm more just kind of, the good looks while Jeremy kind of makes it function. So tonight there may be a few bugs as I'm figuring out how to do this, but that's also a good sign because it means that we have things that I couldn't normally do, like Spectator is working and all of these other things. So you can get points on streams that I'm running in the future, probably. So in that regard, it's all very wonderful, and I'm very excited to bring you now to DnDTime Brews. I am Pete, and with me tonight is Farfel13, aka Uchunkus, aka Crowley. Welcome, Crowley. How
That's
are you
me.
doing?
I'm good.
Uh,
I'm you know, other
I'm,
than
I'm
fathead.
sorry about what I did to your head for a brief moment
Yeah,
there.
it hurt, but I'm good now.
I think I was gonna say,
back
I
to
think
normal.
part of it was the internet did that to your head,
Hmm.
and this is DnDTime Brews. Uh, I'm it's a show where we homebrew miscellaneous content. Tonight we're doing magic items. As you can see, we got a few of them kind of popped up on the screen here. That we're going to be going through. These are items that me and Crowley have come up with. We just have some rough concepts for them, as we've done in the past, and then we're going to do a straw poll in a little bit and talk about which items. But before we get into that, one, I want to say hello to all the people that are here hanging out tonight. I see things got John McGraw in chat, so I can't see everyone here, but I see Max Meister here. I know I saw Frog before. Sheba, as always. Good to see all of you here. And Reflected 10-8 is in present, and to all of those lurking and that I have not spoken to directly, it is good to know in spirit that you are here as well. Um, and we have a tradition here on DnDTime Brews. So, Crowley, what are you drinking tonight? What is your
I,
brew?
I'm drinking hot chocolate because I don't drink alcohol.
Uh,
So I'm drinking. I guess it's called Aztec hot chocolate because it's supposed to be kind of spicy. That did not come through.
what, like, you don't taste the spices, the rich, delicious spices?
No, not really. There's cinnamon. There's definitely cinnamon.
I remember hearing you before the show started mention
Adding,
a
I
large
was
globulo.
yeah, I was adding extra cinnamon, and most of that stayed on the spoon. Uh,
Oh, jeez.
uh
Uh, is it good? Are you happy to be drinking this brew?
yeah, it's all right. I mean, otherwise it's all right. But
You feeling festive? That's a nice cup as well. That Wonder
mm,
Woman.
yeah, Wonder Woman. I got it at a Dave and Buster's
Well,
some years ago.
well, nice man. This evening I have as always, a beer. Oh no, I'm spilling it because my cup runneth
Oh
over.
no!
Uh, this is also a technical difficulty. I have the UFO Hefeweizen. It is Hefeweizen, of course, being the variety of beer for anyone unfamiliar, and UFO being the brand. It is, according to the bottle, refreshing, smooth, and light-bodied. It's pretty good. I never had it before. Right now,
All
it's all
right.
right.
I
It's
mean,
all
I
right.
like the name.
The Hefeweizen. It's fun to
Yeah,
say.
I just
Absolutely.
like German names though. So
Uh, yes, the
Hefeweizen.
you're gonna have to get that Oktoberfest, which doesn't
Mm,
sound as. I think that's how it's said in. I think that is the German word Oktoberfest. Um,
just very angry.
yeah, you just have to say it a little bit angrier. I
Hmm.
apologize to anyone who might take offense to that. Probably shouldn't say that. But we're gonna get into brewing some items tonight. We got some fun stuff here. So without further ado, let's get into the hard work of not just drinking brews but creating them. Um, so,
Yes.
what we usually do, Crowley, we kind of go back and forth and just talk a little bit about each of our items, and then we'll open a straw poll and let y'all vote on which ones you want to see us build. So we got some fun ones here tonight. I'll start off here. One that I came up with. We have, and I hope you can see these adequately upon the stream. We have Let me zoom in a little bit, actually, if I can. Ooh, we have the Crimson Coaster, which is a coaster that has something to do with the Crimson Coast, I assume. I imagine that you can place drinks upon it. It might have something nautical involved. Maybe it does something to the drink that you put on it. That is the very vague idea I had for what the Crimson Coaster was. But mostly, like most of the items I do come up with, I start with a pun and then go from there. So that's the Crimson Coaster. What do you got first, Crowley?
I've got the Coconut of Speed.
Yes, you
You-
you mentioned this to me
Well,
previously.
yeah, like a week ago, and you just clap them together and go fast. Make horse noises,
Uh,
horse hoof noises.
Yes. Is there any like particular pattern? Do you have to do the?
Oh yeah, you got to make it. It's got to be the
You have
horse.
to put in an
Yeah.
effort.
hmm
Okay. Uh, excellent. That's the coconut of speed. Next up, we have Bartholomag's Bartholonog, which would be a Bartholomag branded eggnog created by. This is kind of an obscure piece of lore, but one that for some reason is stuck around a lot. Which Bartholomag was a Bartholomew imposter who had his Bartholomag's big sack Bashamza, uh, and he didn't do in particularly well. He was soundly defeated in that adventure, but now maybe he's back with the Bartholonog for all of those holiday individuals looking for delicious treats. So that's one. What do you got next, Crowley?
The deck of some things. It's like the deck of many things, but it's only some things.
Uh, I like it a lot already. Just it's this deck has got a couple things in it.
It's got a few things.
It contains one, maybe no, I'm sorry. It doesn't contain one. It contains more than one thing. We know
Mhm.
that for sure. I wouldn't say that it has, many in it, but
Yeah,
very good.
just a few.
Uh,
Just a few.
the next was I went. This sounds like it's one on an epic scale here. The Tear of Bahamut, which would be, one time Bahamut cried. I really want to build the lore about why Bahamut cried if we're making this item,
Mhm.
and then maybe you drink it. And I was imagining perhaps some kind of item that granted a boon of some sort or other, some epic tier boon, or maybe not that big of a boon, but it would probably do with emotional magic. This is a very
Mm.
sensitive item, I would think. So that's the tier of Bahamut.
And I've got Cumulo, the angry Nimbus. It's just an angry little big cloud, and you will feel his wrath.
But of course, you
I
would.
mean, I had to do one.
I feel like the people would have been furious if you hadn't done at least one cloud related item. I was
Mhm.
honestly in my heart of hearts, I was expecting at least three. Like I thought 3 out of 5 might have been
I
cloud.
thought about it, but I was like, nah, I'll do. I had certain beats I wanted to hit, so
Yes, fair enough. In the same regard, when I came up with the Crimson Coaster, I thought about just doing all puns on names of regions. Like I was thinking about the frontier drops. I had uh, the Sacred Valet, but I did not go with those ones. The Crimson Coaster was my favorite among them. So
I
next
like the
up,
Sacred Valet personally.
the Sacred Valet. I mean, perhaps there's perhaps we can get the Sacred Valet in if we go through all 10 of these, but that's
Mm.
we rarely do with me and Jeremy, but perhaps we'll find some kind of hyperspeed link up, Crowley, and make it through all 10 items. Next up, we have one. This was the one that I was most proud of for a holiday themed item. We have the stockings. They are the ninjas' holiday footwear that allow you to stalk in the night and defeat your wintry enemies. I would think. Maybe they can be anything, but there's some kind of stealthy, delightfully festive sock. Keep you very
Mm.
warm. And also, thank you very much to Mr. Plunderloot, who just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Oh my god, you subscribed for 10 months in a row now. 10 months. Do you know that you're only 2 months away from just subscribing for a year? I know this because I studied the mathematics in school, and I've figured out that that's only 2 more months, which is going to make my brain explode when
Mm.
that happens. But thank you very much, Mr. Plunderloot.
Yes, good on you, Cloud Brother.
You're the best. Uh, Next up, what do you got, Crowley?
I have the Frost King's Frippery. It's just
Good,
the
good word choice.
ostentate. Yeah, I mean, that's really why I even did it. Was just Frost King's frippery. Just I really like the sound of it.
I had to look up the word frippery when I saw that you wrote that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was pretty sure I knew what it meant, but I looked it up anyway when I wrote it.
You were absolutely correct. And what is it? What's your plans for the Frost King's frippery?
It's clothing, just ostentation, and I imagine it will have some kind of effects with cold and warmth,
Mm, yeah.
as you do.
Some type of resistance or environmental resistance. Or,
Yeah,
I can see it. Armory, yeah, the armory, or more for like a mage would kind of wear the Frost King's frippery.
probably more a mage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very good. My next or my final one is the sword that is not a sword. A paradox in of itself. Maybe it's a sword that's disguised as something else. Maybe it's something else that's disguised as a sword. Uh, but it's some item that is in a quantum state where it is a sword, but it is not a sword. I do not know what that's going to be, but I feel like sometimes I make one for me, and that was a joke that was just for me.
Hmm.
Uh, you gotta throw one in for yourself every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
What's your last one?
the Christmas blade. It's just a blade in the shape of a Christmas tree.
The
Ornaments, lights, tinsel. It's got it. Probably a star. I don't know what it
Ooh.
does either, but probably glows.
It probably makes you feel extremely kind of festive about both Christmas and
Mm,
perhaps the solstice, and of course the DnDTime branded holiday is the solstice. So maybe we might have
yes.
to change this to the solstice
Solstice
blade.
blade. Yeah.
Yes, but it's still a solstice tree, which is
You
identical to
understand the
Christmas.
true meaning of the solstice.
Yes.
Mm.
And so, without further ado, Mr. Plunderloot, new item suggestion: Cloud King's Codpiece. Oh dear. Uh, without further ado, let the voting commence. We have posted the straw poll here. I'm also going to post it in the Hangout because I know that sometimes it does, my links get deleted for some people, but not all people, which I do not understand. Computers work in ways that are both mysterious, unfathomable, and I've said both, so I've run out of adjectives I can apply.
Incomprehensible.
Thank you for covering me, because I was only
Mm.
allowed to do two based on the criteria I set for myself at the beginning.
Mhm.
So please vote on these items. You're allowed to vote for more than one. Don't vote for all of them, because then you voted for none, really. I
Yeah.
guess you could find one that you really hated and vote for 9. Just like anything but
Anything.
but the sword that is not a sword. um, and in a couple minutes, we'll check back and we'll start going through. Do you have one that you're pulling for? Which one do you really want to see made?
I would really like to see the deck of some things. I don't know what would be in it yet, but I want to find out.
There are some things that are going to be in it. Yeah, I mean that's
Mhm.
one we're going to need. Of the items here, we will definitely need to be sourcing some things for the deck of some things, because
Yeah,
maybe not all of the things, but some of the things.
some of the
Um,
things.
yeah. The Crimson Coaster is one that I'm very attached to in terms of building.
Hmm.
I'm also very much feeling the Frost King's frippery. I do want to talk about the ascot
Yeah.
that is on that,
Yeah.
because I know there's an ascot. I know it in my heart. Um, so yeah, now we're just gonna play the waiting game. Uh, Mr. Plunderlet, I call it the deck of mostly screwed for the full version. For the
Yep.
full version, I disagree. Well, that was if you were playing a fun little story for anyone who wasn't playing DnDTime in the beginning times. If you rolled a 1 on Bartholomew's Big Back Bonanza back in the day, you pulled from the deck of many things, but with all of the good cards removed.
Yeah, that was the deck of definitely screwed.
That was the deck of, well, I think the title of the item was officially the bad half of the deck of many things. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, those were monstrous days indeed.
Jeremy and I were discussing. I think it was last night. Mike Merles, one of the designers for 5e,
Mm.
he has started running a stream campaign or streamed campaign, and it's I guess the sort of plot of the stream is that the deck of many things doesn't quite exist, and the players have to track down the essence of the cards that are going to go into the deck of many things. So they have a blank deck of cards, and some wizard was like, here's these cards, go create the deck of many things. Or I don't know if it's creating or if it's like rebuilding the deck of many things, but
Because is the implication that the deck of many things is important for the survival of the universe?
that I don't know.
Or because I like the idea that the plot is just this wizard's a huge troll and wants this awful thing back out in the world. Because that's a great plot
I could
line.
believe it. It sounds like his assistant is going to be the knight for the deck of many things, so he might kill his assistant. I don't know. Which poor guy.
So, reminder to vote. I'm going to check in on the progress and see how voting goes. Waha! Oh, not a lot of votes in yet.
No,
so
not yet.
Continue now to vote, if you would. I relinked it there. And also, again, if that link's getting deleted for you, it is in the Hangout. But not surprisingly, the deck of some things is very much taking an early lead.
Christmas Blade, I'm a little surprised, is right there with it.
Yeah, Christmas Blade. I mean, there's a lot you can do with that. There's a lot of room to grow on the Christmas Blade, I think, which is good. Tonight, Cardcaptor Sakura, the campaign. I do get that reference, which speaks to who I am as a human.
Yeah, I think I know it as well. Uh-oh, Shiba, your vote didn't get counted? How did that happen?
I don't know. Well, you'll have to find a new IP address and log back in, because we do not allow multiple votes from a single IP, because it would destroy the thing if someone chose to. Although I don't think you guys would, but you might.
Oh, you voted afterward too, huh? Okay.
That is very odd.
Well, what'd you vote for?
Yeah, we can count +1 on whatever it is that you want, Shiba. Speak your words here, unless you wish to remain anonymous, and then you can PM me on Discord for. Apparently, it doesn't record more than 3. That is odd. I don't know why it would do that. I told it to let you vote for as many as you wanted, because that was an option. Actually, it was just allow multiple answers. So, who could say? Maybe it's like a percentage thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't fully understand straw poll. Who does understand straw poll other than its creator, the architect?
Yeah, well, we hope they fully understand it. You never know. It might have gotten away from them.
Yeah, you got to press F. Press F to pay respects for Shiba's vote. Give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll begin diving into the iteming. That's what I got.
Frog says he also voted for Cumulo, and that hasn't come up. Should we make a new one?
Well, let's see where we're at. We're gonna refresh the results. Oh, no more. Yeah, that's odd. All right, that's definitely strange. I don't know how to change it, because I mean I just did it with like the regular settings. But let us see if we can. Let's see if we can do this again. The deck of some things.
Hello, Diadems and Imagination Studio.
Hello, Imagination Studio and Diadems. Thank you. Straw poll Great Odalon patron confirmed. I'm inclined to agree. Then we have Deck of Some Things. The Tear of Bahamut. Cumulo the Angry Nimbus. Bahamut. Cumulo the Angry Stockings. Cumulo the Angry Nimbus. Stockings, Frost King's Frippery. Stockings.
Fair question, Plunder.
What comes after the Frost King's Frippery?
The Sword that is not a sword.
Yes. I love it so much, but again, I know that one's just for me. The
I
sword
kind of want to know what it
that is
is.
not a sword. I mean, that's how I felt. I want to know what the sword is. And then the last one was the Christmas blade.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. All right, so we're going to create this poll. Do we
The
allow
second time.
multiple? I mean, I don't know why it would be different this time, but we will. Where's the Schnurble item?
It's a fair question.
You may
I
need to
do-
select multiple votes from a single IP. Well, that just seems like it would kind of bust things up a little bit if people can just vote a bunch of times. So we'll try this, and we're gonna go high speed on this. We're gonna go 2 minutes on this new refresh straw poll, and we'll go with whatever we end up with, even if it doesn't work, because we don't want to waste too much time just figuring out what we're gonna do. And I think we'll get through a lot of these anyway.
Well, it looks like someone got 4 items in. Oop.
Yeah, things seem to be working a little bit more properly on this
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I don't know what happened on the last one. Again, who could say? Give it another moment, and then we shall begin. But I mean, the deck of some things is almost inevitably
Yeah.
going to be the first one that we go through. Again, unsurprisingly,
Mhm.
who doesn't love? I mean, the deck of many things is the most interesting thing, I would say, in all of the items that are in them. That
Yeah.
have been printed, that have been published. I think it's the most interesting item.
Mhm.
Wondrous item. Deck of some things. How? As we're going to start this, because I know it's going to be done, I'm just going to start writing some things while we're talking about it and waiting for the final votes.
Yeah.
What tier do you think the deck of some things is? Because I like the idea that it's an uncommon item.
Yeah, I think I like that
I
too.
think some very kind of low grade
Mm.
abilities on the deck of some things would be most fun. Refresh results. All right. If you want to continue to vote, you may do so, and then when we come back through, we will go through and go with the ones that have been voted, even if they were out of order. But for now, I think we're going to dive in and start working on the deck of some things. So without further ado, does not require attunement because it's a consumable.
Yes.
Because now, are you imagining the deck of some things functioning? I mean, I've been assuming because you've called it the deck of some things, but are we thinking that this functions like the deck of many things? That seems logical.
Mostly, yeah. I think so.
All right. Well, in that case, we're going to want to start off by kind of looking at the deck of many things text.
Yeah.
And grabbing kind of a big chunk. Grabbing a big chunk of that. I don't think we're going to design quite as many cards as there are in the deck of many things because it's only a deck of some things.
Yeah.
How many do you want to go for?
Well, how many are there in the deck of many things? It's what,
The
20 something at the at the
my
top?
instincts say 22, but I can count them, or you can count them if you would like.
I think it says it somewhere in the text. You typically
22.
Oh, it is 22. Okay.
Yep. Some have only 13, but the rest have 22. So
I think 10, maybe. Yeah.
Some have only 3 cards, but the rest have 10.
Yep, you're in that.
3. So the deck of some things, usually found in a box or pouch, this deck contains a number of cards made of ivory or vellum. Most, 75% of these decks have only 3 cards, but the rest have 10. Before you draw a card, you must declare how many cards you intend to draw, and then draw them randomly. You can use an altered deck of playing cards to simulate the deck. Any cards drawn in excess of this number have no effect. Otherwise, as soon as you draw a card from the deck, its magic takes effect. You must draw each card no more than 1 hour after the previous draw. If you fail to draw the chosen number, the remaining cards fly off the deck of their own and take effect all at once.
Yeah.
I think 1 hour. I think for this, it's 1 minute.
Yeah.
The consequences aren't as dire. You get a minute to take your next card. It's not that big of a deal. Otherwise, Very good. The rest of it, I think we can keep all of this text and just use it for our own purposes here.
I mean, are these cards ivory or vellum though?
These cards are made of wool. They're probably not that. Are made of papyrus.
Papyrus or cardboard.
Or cardboard, absolutely. Good call.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we going to name our cards? I think starting off with some fun, some fun card names would be nice.
What's the deck of many things have? I mean,
so they have very kind of grand. They have some very kind of grand card names, such as the Vizier, the Sun, the Moon, the Star. I think we have things like the Clerk.
Yeah.
The Clerk, the Chair, the Table, the Bench. Like,
yeah, definitely much simpler.
I think we're going for a more mundane deck of many things. Also, what do people think? My ability to look at chat is a little bit, and let me actually zoom out just a touch because it looks like some of this is getting cut off. Maybe that's a little bit too much. I'm gonna go
the light in comparison to the sun. Yeah, that would be good.
The light, yeah, I like the light a lot. I think that's a great idea.
But I think the dark is too intense, so maybe like the dim as well.
The light, maybe instead of the sun. In that case, if we want to go less intense, the torch.
The torch, yeah.
Yeah, the torch, and then for the what would be a good
the unlit torch.
Oh, it's done. It's in there. That's excellent. The unlit torch. I want some kind of person. I don't know if the Clerk is right because that doesn't feel high fantasy to me. Oh wait, the Hireling.
The Hireling.
Instead of the Knight, you have the Hireling.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be some bad ones in there.
Yeah.
The unlit torch is definitely a bad one.
The Annoyed.
The Annoyed. We'll throw it down. The Rain Cloud. Just. I mean,
I'm always a fan of clouds.
Since this is your idea, I think the cloud should just be on there.
Yeah.
Because it's your item idea and it belongs as a result.
We got 5.
We got 5, yeah. And the bead instead of the gem. That's funny. The Wet Socks, says Zord. That's a good one. The Tempest is the bad version. On the
I really like the bead.
Let's toss the bead on there, man. What else? What other classic ones are there? There's the dungeon and the void. When I think of ones that kind of leave you lost and just destroy your character, those are kind of two of the most iconic. So I'd like a very kind of dumbed down version of one.
The poorly locked cage.
Just how about
that's
like
too long?
It's too many words because these are all like every single one is just one word. Maybe the unlit torch we need to change to like fit that theming of only having.
Yeah.
How about just the cabinet?
Yeah, the cabinet.
The cabinet.
Oh, the room. That's also a good one.
Oh wait, I like the room way more.
The room, yeah.
The room is really good. Oh, hi, Mark. The hole. Oh, the hole is also good.
Yeah.
Never mind. The hole replaces the room. The hole was you've won. You fall into a hole when you.
This card, you fall into a 10-foot hole. Let's see.
So what else are there? So there's the ones that give you. Well, the Hireling is instead of like the Knight or something along those lines. So there's the key, which gives you a rarer magic weapon. I really like the idea of something that's symbolic that gives you you just a mundane item, like like a barrel pops into your hands or something.
What's better than a key, or what's weaker than a key?
What's weaker than a key?
Yeah, it's weaker than a key. The
stick.
The stick. Yep, the stick. It's definitely the stick.
The stick, indeed. The lockpick. Yeah, I guess that is. That's actually pretty good, sir. Just by definition, the lockpick is weaker than a key.
Mm. I do like that.
And so instead of the one that grants you a wish or answers like any one question that you want to know, what's our equivalent to having your wish granted? I feel like in effect it's something along the lines of the wish spell, but you can only use it to cast first level spells.
Yeah, I like that.
But what would that be? Because that's normally that is the star.
The star. Okay.
Or is that the star? Or is that the?
No, the star lets
the
you
moon.
The moon. The meteor. Now, meteor sounds way too intense, though.
Yeah, the meteor is very good. The omen.
The omen. Yeah.
Yeah, the hireling's a great one. I love the.
Yeah, the hireling's good.
The candle, so you can blow it out.
The fish. What is the fish?
The
moon fish.
Wait.
Wait. How does the moon
I got
connect
a good
to the
one.
fish?
I got a good one. I'm feeling very confident going in. The eyelash.
Yeah. Oh yes, that is 100% the wish one.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have room for one more, and maybe we have to ditch the unlit torch.
We might have to
Also,
change.
I liked the torch instead of the torch, the candle that Shiva suggested.
Yeah, the candle.
That feels very right to me.
Definitely the candle.
Also, I don't know about the annoyed because I just don't know what that would be.
Yeah, I don't know either.
We need more that really ruin you. So there's the ones that, the one that creates an enemy. Oh, was that what the annoyed was meant to be? The annoying?
Yeah, that could be that. Yeah, I wasn't really sure. So
I want to I'm trying to find like a nice word for Paris, like the gnat.
Oh yeah. The gnat. I like the gnat.
There might be a better one than that, but what do you guys think? Oh, the goblin. I like the goblin.
The goblin. Yeah.
You invoke the ire of a goblin.
A single goblin.
One goblin hates you,
and he's not even a captain.
I love that sword. That's so good. So we need. Now I think we're at a point where we need one more. What kind of ID in the deck of things have we not gotten at? Oh, the ones that like increase your intelligence and or. How about just the book? Like
the book, yeah. We don't have anything for what was.
Or I guess they don't actually use the word the. They just pretty much just go book.
Yeah. There was one.
These are fun. I like this a lot.
Oh, throne. We don't have one that gives you a bunch of money yet. Well, that could be the bead. Or bead.
Yeah. That's bead.
What are we doing for annoyed? Because the goblins, the one.
Oh wait, we don't. We're getting rid of annoyed. Okay, wait, never mind. We do need one more. We have the bead for a lot of money. We have the vizier answers a question, which I don't know if we want that. I think we need another one that ruins you, like say the Uriel.
Do we have a ruin? Like an actual? The hole puts you in a hole. Or hole puts you in a hole.
Yeah, we have the goblin. Yeah, so we need something like Uriel or ruin that just messes you up. Can we just call one taxes?
Taxes, yes.
I don't know if taxes is good. All right, we'll go with taxes.
Tax, just tax.
Oh wait, yes, perfect. There it is. That was my the in-laws could be Uriel, says D forgotten one. That's pretty good.
So, all right. So the candle.
We as has happened. Wait, I think we got them all now. I think we're done.
Yeah.
All right.
There's only 3 bad ones, I think, right? In this, there's
which seems disproportionately small. Maybe the cloud's a bad one.
Sure. That makes sense.
No offense, Crowley.
Yeah, none taken. I'll just hold it against you.
Okay. There's the whole book is like some kind of learning or knowledge based thing. Tax is bad. Eyelash is good. Goblins decidedly bad.
Yep.
Bowl is bad. Bead. Cloud is probably maybe more neutral.
Yeah.
Hireling and Candle. We don't know what Candle actually is going to be.
What is it? Were we comparing it to the sun?
I think
What
we're
does the sun
comparing to
do?
the sun. Oh, that's just like you get a whole bunch. That's like a really good one. Maybe we need another bad one that the candle could represent. Like we don't have a we don't have like a jester kind of thing, which is I think an important one. The like you draw 2 more cards.
Yes. Yeah, you gain something and draw 2 more cards.
I like the and then there's the Joker, which also does that. And I like the idea of one that's just you draw again with no other effect.
Yeah, all right, I like it.
The Harlequin, greed, says reflected tonight. That seems too epic, though. Like, it's like a more mundane version of greed, or Harlequin. Fool. Well, fool seems cool though. I could picture a fool.
Yeah, but fool is in the deck of many things.
Oh wait, okay. Well, that makes sense. Why I could picture it being in the deck of many things. I was looking at Joker, which is the card that it is. Not
Idiot is also in the deck of many things.
Dunce.
Dunce, yeah, Dunce.
Instead of the candle,
dummy.
we have the dunce.
Yeah, dunce. Dunce works.
All right. And so let's start doing these. And I think if you're down for it, dunce is already done. Draw again.
Yep, draw again. Just that's it.
Draw an additional card from the deck.
So hireling, you just get a hireling.
Let me just read the text for hireling.
And I'm gonna see what knight says.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You do that, and I will work on what's another one that we know. All right. So I'm gonna work on stick.
Knight. Okay. You gain this. Okay. I'm just gonna.
We'll unbolden that. Make sure you paste without formatting on those.
Yeah.
So stick, a rare magic weapon with which you are proficient, appears in your hands. The DM chooses the weapon. That's the thing that we're basing it on. Instead,
a mundane item.
A mundane item appears in your hands. The DM chooses the item. Just you get a clock. Just great.
I mean, a clock would be nice.
Hole.
Where's dungeon?
A 10-foot deep...
Yeah, it's just a 10-foot hole.
A 10-foot deep hole appears beneath you. You must succeed on a DC 10.
Do we even... I mean, like, a 10-foot hole doesn't even do fall damage. Do they just fall in?
No, 10 would be 1d6.
No, it's only after the first 10 feet that you start taking fall damage.
Yeah, but, like, you're above it. I would argue that falling the full 10 feet into the 10-foot hole would count.
Okay. All right.
But maybe we don't need to write that. Just a 10-foot... Yeah, no, I think just specifying you must succeed on a DC 10 dexterity saving throw or fall into the hole.
Now the hireling, are we going skilled or unskilled?
Service of an unskilled hireling.
Unskilled hireling, all right.
What do you guys think for bead? How much money do you make when you drop bead?
Ooh, that...
I think, like she was saying, draw a hole while standing on a bridge. I think if you draw the hole while standing on a bridge, it does create a platform underneath the bridge for you to fall into. A hole like gold. Maybe, like, because this is riches. The bead is expensive. Maybe it's a platinum piece.
Ooh, yeah. A single platinum piece.
Which, to a commoner, like, the deck of many things can really change fate for the average commoner. Like, wow, yeah. When I found this stick card, I gained a brand new work hoe I was going to replace that. That would have cost me 3 copper pieces, and now I don't have to make a trip to the blacksmith. This is going to make this crop harvest much easier. Or their 10-foot hole. Man, I was going to plant potatoes here. Make it Electrum for funsies. No, Electrum is the worst currency imaginable, and we shall not endorse it here.
Yeah, that's it's messed up. You even suggested that.
So maybe the bead will just be a fancy Mastercraft mundane item. Considering a 10-foot hole can kill a commoner pretty easily. Yeah, I also think that like the 10-foot hole could just kill a peasant, which is delightful. Just like they fall into the hole and just break their neck. Oh god. That could be so bad. Oh. It's a nice tone.
That's a nice sound, yeah.
All
right, so I've changed the hireling doesn't serve you till death, but until things get a bit dicey.
Bead. Let me look at gem and read the text because I want to go close to gem. Wait, is there gem? Okay, yeah. 25 pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 or 50 gems worth 1,000 appear at your feet. All right, we're going to copy and paste that.
I think the DM controls the hireling, right?
Let me look at Knight. No, it says you control this character, actually, at the end.
Yeah. I was just wondering if we should change it to the DM.
Oh, sure.
No, I think I
agree. So 25 pieces of jewelry. So I think to keep the flavoring right on the bead, I think 5 beads worth. Or actually, we'll go 10 beads worth. 5 beads worth 2, and then 10 beads worth 1. So that's still a platinum piece, basically. 2 beads worth 5 beads worth 1 GP each. Wait, no, I'm screwing it up. My math. I went to school for math. Or 10 gems worth 1 GP each appear at your feet. And not 10 gems though. Or 10 marbles.
Marbles, yep.
Worth 1 GP each appear at your feet.
Or 10 really nice marbles.
Yeah, they're like high quality. They're agates. They're nice ones. Appear at your feet. A hole is Dunzo. Eyelash. Let me look at Moon and copy and paste it. You get granted the ability to cast Wish 1d3 times. This casting of the Wish spell may only be used to cast spells of first level or lower.
Yep. So first level spells and cantrips.
Yep. And again, if you're a starving peasant and you can cast 3 I think create food and water is actually a high level spell. You can create water 3 times, maybe.
I think it's second level spell. Yeah. Should we do it second level? I mean, oops.
Nah. The goblin. Let me grab that.
I've already got it.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, let me get the Vizier for book. Or what do we want to do for book? We also don't know what we're going to do for cloud. We don't have one that does the change alignment one. And we don't have one like the Fates. The Fates is a really cool one. You change reality.
Weak. Should be a weak. It's a powerful devil. Should it be a weak goblin?
I think it's just a goblin.
A goblin. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's sort of an oxymoron. If I.
I think the rest of the text. I think the rest of the text should stay the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Goblin seeks your ruin and plagues your life, savoring your suffering before attempting to slay you.
100%.
I think the rest of the text is identical.
Just change out devil for goblin.
Yep. Tax. I think the text for text is identical to the text for talents. It's just every mundane item you wear or carry disintegrates.
Yep. Should it be that, or should it be you now owe like the government one platinum worth of wealth, something to that effect, just so it can directly counteract the bead when someone pulls them in a row.
Just easy come, easy go. That could be fun. Where's Ruin? I feel like Ruin's almost just the same. Just like you could just run that, and it's just your personal scale affects how powerful that is. But it wouldn't make sense if a great hero pulled Ruin from the deck. You owe the nearest living ruler. Yeah, I like what she was saying. You owe the nearest living ruler.
Definitely that. Yep.
Can't see under the goblin on screen. Let me scroll down a little bit, and we'll get there. What if you are the ruler? Well, then you probably are pulling from the deck of many things, not the deck of some things. How does one owe himself? I don't know. That's a great question, Plunder, and that's the kind of philosophical stuff that we really wanted to hit on with this item. So Tax, here, you grab Tax and do that ruler. I think the counteracting the bead is cool, and let me get let me get better text for dunce.
It's one PP, isn't it?
Ooh, classic. Paste without formatting. You draw an additional card beyond your declared draws. What was the balance? Okay, yeah. Maybe the cloud is some. Maybe the cloud, I think, is a weak version of balance. Your mind suffers a wrenching alteration, causing your alignment to change. Lawful becomes chaotic, good becomes evil, and vice versa. I feel like what's like a simpler version of that?
You can't become kind of unsure about things.
Your mind suffers a wrenching alteration, causing your alignment to become obfuscated.
What is good and what is evil? You're not sure.
I'll paste without formatting. You may change your alignment.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, yeah.
If you wish to do so. And that does not force you. It doesn't force you into anything. It's just saying, hey, what if evil? And book is the only one we have left. So there's ones that give you plus intelligence. I think the book can be something in between Fates and Vizier, which I think are two of the coolest ones in the original deck. Like the Fates is so radical. For anyone who doesn't know what the deck of many things is, and we've been assuming that people have a full understanding of the deck of many things, which I think we probably should have addressed earlier than now. But to take a brief moment, it's a big deck of cards that when you pull a card from it, each of them has a crazy effect, and it does something that completely destroys a lot of games. Things like trapping you in a void where your character basically is just dead. Or in the case of the Fates, which is the one I want to talk about now, reality's fabric unravels and spins anew, allowing you to avoid or erase one event as if it never happened. You can use this card's magic as soon as you draw the card or at any other time before you die. Book. And there's ones that increase your intelligence. There's ones that allow you to gain a piece of information.
Isn't there one that lets you just increase any stat?
There might be.
Yeah, Star. Star does that.
Yeah, pretty good. the star card. Oh my god, the star card, and then in conjunction with the books, you can get a stat of 24. That's wild.
Yeah.
OP. All right, so the book. Which direction do you want to go with it? Do you want to try and do like a change your stats thing, or do you want to try and do a gain knowledge thing, or a?
I feel like we really need the fates. Something
Yeah, I
fates
think
like.
it's with the fates. Like, so I don't think the fate changes a future outcome, but I
Mm,
think you like learn something
mm,
that predicts the future. Like, you learn information about a future event. You gain advantage on your next ability check.
yep. There it is.
All right, done. The deck of some things. This was monstrous. Gain 1 portent die. As much as I like that, and I think that does a better job of the mechanic. I just don't want to use the mechanic from the divination wizard
Mm-hmm.
because it would just be confusing. Although definitely gain 1 portent die is way better. Actually, how about instead of gain 1 portent die, you choose the outcome of the next roll made of the next. No, I think I like my old one. I was picturing like you can just make your next rolls like a natural 20, but
Mm-hmm.
actually, you know what? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's not that bad. Not that crazy.
Your next ability check. As if you rolled a 20. And there's a better way of phrasing that, which normally we would go through and so here on DnDTime Brews, and let me again take a brief moment as an aside, this was extremely fun to make. Normally on DnDTime Brews, we make items that we could use in D&D time. We can't use this in D&D
No.
time. This is completely against everything that we try and do when we're building items for Land of D&D time. But it was very fun and I enjoyed it. And so
Yes.
normally we would go through and like make sure that things like you treat your next ability check as if you rolled a 20. Instead of doing that, we'd go to say something like the we would go to say something like the rogue and go to what's the ability I'm thinking of? A reliable talent.
Reliable talent. Yep.
And grab the text and make sure that it's the correct text because that's what you would use for this in terms of deciding what an ability check roll is because that has an ability where it treats as less than 10, but we're not going to do that because this item can't go in the bag because it's too ridiculous and has too many strange things on it. So
I don't think we could use until things get a bit dicey for language on the higher link. That kind of stuff just wouldn't work.
This is true. So with that, I think we can declare the deck of some things done.
Yeah.
This was an absolute delight. All right, next one. Refresh results. Where did we end up? We ended up right where we were. The Christmas Blade. All right, let's get into some real items. So the Christmas Blade. It is a blade. And let me get your description of the Christmas Blade down here so that we might copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. So that we can look at that as we're going. So for starters, this is not a wondrous item. This is a magic weapon.
Yes.
So let us reflect that. And what do you guys have in mind? What kind of weapon do you think the Christmas Blade is? It's a big tree, naturally, but what do you guys think is the type of weapon that we want to build here? Maybe not a longsword. I'm going to say now, let's not do longsword because I've seen a lot of longswords.
Could be a greatsword, could be a lance, like Sheba said.
A lance makes sense, but it's called a blade. So I would call the lance more in the spear category. Although we could also just change it to make it work for what we want it to be.
Mm-hmm. You're just carrying around a big tree.
Yeah.
I
mean, Why not? So anyway, this is a we're gonna write here martial. Oh, why can't I write martial weapon? And then in parentheses, we're gonna write something. And what kind of tier do you imagine that you're going for with the Christmas blade? This doesn't seem like a high tier item either to me either. I'm thinking maybe uncommon, maybe rare.
I was thinking rare, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Let's
Yeah.
go for a rare item. And I'm just going to preemptively put that it requires attunement because most things that we put in the bag should require attunement because that's the way D&D time works, and we need to make sure that we have those kind of limits so people don't get a billion magic items and then ruin dudes. So that's gonna be what the Christmas blade is.
Mhm.
So what do we know about it? It is a blade shaped like a Christmas tree with ornaments, lights, and even tinsel. So I think our description of the weapon can be very close to that. So as always,
Yeah.
we're going to start with our this notation because you always start with this. So this festive blade
Ooh, festive. Yeah.
is shaped like a solstice tree. Because we're flavoring it for D&D time, so you're just going to take. Could you make it? Do you mind making it the solstice blade?
No, that's fine. I considered doing that when I wrote it out anyway. So
solstice blade is shaped like a solstice tree, comma, and and is adorned with lights, ornaments, and tinsel. All right, so we have our description. Very simple, very straightforward. Do we think that this is a +1 or kind of a magical bonus item, or do we think that it's more, its other effects are going to define it, such that it does not need +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls?
I'm not sure. I could see it being a +1 item, but I'm not positive.
Oh. You have a halberd, a polearm swords, like a sword staff, is an idea. A dwarven orgash. I do not know what an orgash
Yeah, I have
is.
no idea what that is.
And maybe it's just a lance. Maybe it's called the solstice blade, but it's just a lance. Because the lance seems right to me.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This festive lance shaped like a solstice tree. Oh, wait,
I mean, we could just change it to
like
solstice lance.
the solstice lance. The solstice blade feels right to me, though.
Yeah.
And we can go back. We can go back on that.
Could just call it solstice tree.
You gain a. Wait, there it is. Solstice tree.
Yeah.
You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this weapon. I believe that is the correct language, is it not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I might have missed a word here or there.
What about? I feel like with the lights on it,
Yeah, I was thinking
it would have some sort of light component.
I think it has a light component, and then I think maybe one more small effect that relates a little bit more to, like the decoration aspects of it, or like maybe something to do with a tree. Maybe you can like place it down, and it does something involving like, creates an aura. I can picture creating some kind of Christmassy aura on the ground. Like maybe you can place it into the ground and it begins to snow, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. That would make sense.
Any thoughts on that? For starters, let's say this weapon emits dim light in a 30-foot radius.
Can we turn the lights on and off, or is it always lit up?
I think it's always lit up just for simplicity's sake. I feel like there's a better way of phrasing that I'm going to look to. Not the Moonblade. What am I thinking of? The Sunblade. I'm going to look to the Sunblade for that.
I think typically convention says out to a range of 30 feet. It's dim light.
Emits. So the official thing is the blade emits bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet would be the official.
Okay. But I think this is dim light, right? Like Christmas lights aren't bright.
Dim light out to a range. Maybe it's just it emits dim light out to a range of 15 feet.
Sure.
Actually, it doesn't say out to a range. It's just emits dim light.
Okay.
It's dim light in a 15-foot radius.
I put 2 T's. I
So
put 2 T's.
15-foot radius.
Okay.
And video not working for you.
Uh-oh.
Bunny, that is not a good sign. Are we down? Are other people having that issue? Please.
I'm able to see us still.
I am
That's
as
worse.
well. That might be a. Forgive my crass answer, but that might be a you problem. You might just want to try refreshing. But also, V Bunny, welcome. It's good to have you here tonight.
Mm,
And if you can still hear us, that is very odd.
yeah.
So, as an action, you may plant this lance down. You may plant this lance into the ground, creating a delightful solstice display. While planted in the ground in this way, snow falls around it in a 15, maybe that's also the 15-foot radius.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, same 15-foot radius.
15-foot radius, causing difficult terrain.
Yeah.
And done. Cute.
Yeah. Is this a rare item though? At this?
Plus, it's a +1 lance, and lance is suboptimal. It
Mhm.
gives off light, which is fairly insignificant, and it can create this difficult terrain. But you have to put down the weapon to do it. I think it's an uncommon item in what we've made. If we want to boost it up to a rare, and effects like calm emotions or holiday spirit, maybe we can do a calm emotions thing. Or holiday spirit. What do you think? Spirit holidays, spirit guardians, but it's a Christmas spirit.
Ooh.
Solstice spirit guardians.
So it's just little Santas on sleds, or what's the solstice? What shows up on the solstice? The Santa thing in D&D time? What's
the Grunch?
the Granch? That's evil, right?
Yeah, but spirit guardians can be evil.
Bartholomew in a Santa's outfit?
I think
that's just not realistic.
I think it's just solstice angels.
Ah, yes, solstice angels.
Yeah, by Chiba. Oh god, spirit guardians would be so powerful. Yes, it would.
Mhm.
I think it would still be you'd have to plant it down, so it'd be spirit guardians that you have to start
Yeah,
on yourself. Because wait, actually, does spirit guardians always centers on you, doesn't it?
it does.
So it'd be a static spirit guardians that doesn't move with you, which I don't know how much that changes spirit guardians. But I think it changes spirit guardians enough to not do it because then it becomes tricky to word.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with this being an uncommon item.
Yeah, I think this is a fun little place. It's very niche. There's going to be situations where you put the tree down and you cause some hijinks where people are slipping around, and maybe that's one thing that we can add to it.
Ooh, slippery, yeah.
Maybe it's slippery. Difficult terrain must succeed on a DC, low DC, right? DC 10.
Yeah, uncommon.
Maybe like DC 8. Or you think it's reasonable because it affects you as well.
I think 10's fine. Yeah.
DC 10 dexterity saving throw or
falls prone.
And their movement and fall prone, or just falls prone is fine. You can get back up if they haven't moved too far, or fall prone. And this item's a little bit wordy. I think there's some language that can be cleaned up in here.
Yeah.
For one thing, I think we can combine this into one mega sentence, and maybe we don't even need to. Maybe that is the most efficient way of writing all this.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't think there's a more efficient way. I mean, Yeah, no, there's no more efficient way.
All right. Well, then we've created the Christmas blade, which brings us next to our next
The
item,
Tear of Bahamut.
the Tear of Bahamut. So I think I'm imagining this is like a rare or very rare item
Yeah,
in terms of power level.
I would think very rare at the very least.
Yeah, I mean
It's
this is
Bahamut's Tear.
very rare.
Oh,
I don't think this requires entombment because I think this is a consumable. I think
yeah,
you drink.
definitely
I think you
consumable.
drink the tears of Bahamut.
Mhm.
Wondrous item for sure.
Is
Why?
it a potion?
Why?
Technically, would that be
Uh,
what this is
yeah.
called?
Well, I think it
Yeah.
would. You wouldn't call it a potion. It would still be. I think potions are still wondrous items, aren't they?
No, they're their own category. Things that you drink. I think
Let me get that.
even
Let me get that exact wording. You are correct. They are just potions.
yeah.
Uh, Potion, very rare. Um, so, capital P. Or actually, no. I think
Oop.
the book. I think the book does it. Uh, Different things disagree on whether or not potions and very rares should be capitalized.
Yeah.
I think the book is no capitalization, but most people capitalize because it looks way better.
Oh yeah.
But I tend to go with the no capitalized because I am a slave to what has come before me and will only follow the instructions of the book. So this dragon scale vial contains a single drop of liquid, drop of water. And why did Bahamut cry? I think this is the big question,
Ooh.
guys. Why did Bahamut cry? What made this? What made the ancient platinum dragon ancient? No, the in ancient beyond reckoning platinum dragon
Yep.
shed tears, guys.
Spilled milk.
Well, he specifically should not be crying over that.
No, he shouldn't be.
Uh, a kobold, a kobold told her he loved her.
Stubbed his toe.
Is Bahamut female?
No, Bahamut's
Oh, okay, just checking.
because Tiamat's female and Bahamut's male.
Yeah, Tiamat is she is Tiamat's pronoun. I know that.
Man, what makes a dragon god cry?
Um,
Hmm.
just I mean, I kind of like it being something, something kind of like he
Really
stubbed his
mundane, yeah.
toe, or a kobold told him that he loved him.
I'm a big fan of the stubbed
I
toe.
like
Smashed his funny bone. I already made that joke, Chiba.
this track. Do you cry a tear? Like, what is the verb for a single tear cried by Bahamut? A single
A
tear.
single tear shed by Bahamut.
Oh, thank you. I'm such a fool. Oh man, that you've come to my rescue on this one, Crowley.
Hmm.
When he stubbed
Stubbed his
his toe on Mount
Olympus.
Olympus.
Okay, so what does it do?
Let me look at potion. So when you drink this, potion, my thought was the Tear of Bahamut would give you emotional abilities.
Mhm.
Maybe like I don't know if I want to say calm emotions at will, but like one a day calm emotions would be a start, and maybe something else.
Well, antipathy on chromatic dragons.
Ooh, drinks this potion. but that's like the kind of thing in D&D time where I wouldn't want to design that.
Yeah.
And this is a D&D time design your items for D&D time lesson. Don't build a thing that might restrict design space, because like when you're put on the adventure where there's a chromatic dragon, you're like, well, I've drinking the tear of Bahamut, so now all the chromatic dragons completely can't go away and avoid me, and then the adventure gets destroyed. Like, we won't put that stuff in because it makes it really hard for us to design adventures in a lot of ways for me and Jeremy. So keep that in mind. As much as I do like that effect, I think that effect is pretty rad. There is one thing that creates an antipathy spell that's has been pulled, which is the Doctor Repellent.
Yes.
Is antipathy against doctors, but that's a rare one. Chromatic Dragon's a little bit more.
What are their emotions? They're the only. I mean, it's calm emotion.
The only one I can think of is calm emotions, but I feel like there's other stuff that does comparable effects.
Be mostly enchantment stuff.
Mostly enchantment stuff. What spells are out there that we can use?
Tasha's hideous laughter kind of falls into that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Psychic scream.
Jesus.
yeah. Let's just give him psychic scream. Otto's irresistible dance. That's sort of friends. Well,
Heroism, I guess you could say.
Yeah, enthrall. Maybe, I don't know about that.
Confusion.
Confusion. Enemies abound. That damn coffee table.
Is enemies abound a...
It's an enchantment spell. It makes... I don't remember.
Frog says that maybe instead of antipathy, you have advantage to attacks against chromatic dragons. Yeah, we could go like a more traditional kind of buff route and make it more a Bahamut item. Because I was thinking something a bit on the goofier side, but maybe we just want to go straight up, badass chromatic dragon slaying. Potion. You become imbued with the strength and emotions of the platinum dragon.
Now, is this a permanent buff from this item?
I think this is a boon.
Okay.
When you learn this thing.
Yeah.
So something like advantage on attacks against chromatic dragons, that's pretty brutal on just like a boon, but the maybe like something like the location of the nearest chromatic dragon to you, something like that to start with. The location of the chromatic dragon nearest to you, and what else do you kind of like? If this is something, is this a tool for dragon slaying, or is this just like you? Because I don't know necessarily a ton about the lore of Bahamut and Tiamat, but maybe because I don't think this is a tool that like necessarily. I don't think Bahamut's tears. I don't think those make you better at killing dragons.
Right.
But I think like something like knowing the nearest chromatic dragon to you falls into that category. I think maybe
breath weapon.
I think you learn the draconic
dragon breath or whatever that spell is.
A breath weapon, absolutely. And I think maybe it's a and maybe that's what it is. You get a couple of innate spell casting, so maybe you get a free breath weapon a day, and you get a free calm emotions a day. I like both of those.
Yes.
Which combines our two big aspects.
Do we want to do anything with metallic dragons? Like, I don't know, advantage on persuasion or something with metallic dragons.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And learn and Let me get the language from the Belt of Dwarven Kind. So I want to give this thing Draconic.
Mm,
Draconic. Wait, nope. Belt of Dwarven Kind. And if you want to grab or write that chunk about comma motions and
sure.
other thing.
Oops.
Right. Draconic.
Just gonna write it down here on the
and
capping,
you
basically.
know the location of the nearest.
That's
Maybe
not
it's
the
the
language.
maybe it's the nearest metallic dragon.
Oh yeah, that might
You
make
can
more
find
sense.
your friends.
Gotta go get some common language.
Within 5 miles, because I don't think you necessarily know.
Yeah.
And let me get the language for that off of the ranger. And we're going to grab that language right off of the ranger's ability that gives them something.
Primeval awareness.
Primeval awareness, thank you. Sometimes I can't remember things and what they're called. So, primeval awareness. So no, those are more within 5 miles of you. Yep, that's it. Additionally, and if we're going for very rare, but I think we've kind of settled into... No, I honestly think this item is still very rare. Because this item does not require attunement. Oh, dear. This item does not require attunement. It is just a... it just happens. Once you drink this tier, you just have these abilities. But I do think we can buff the DC on that. Maybe a DC 15. So, and then once used, this feature can't be used this way again until the next done.
What is the name of that spell specifically? Just Dragon Breath? Dragon's Breath.
Dragon's Breath. Very good, very good. Max Meister says, I once made a chromatic dragonborn who worships Bahamut, an outcast amongst his chromatic brethren. I dig. Also, oh wait, just to, like, on the Christmas tree, I missed this before, but someone mentioned dancing lights as a thing that the tree can do.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to go back, but that's a way better idea than just shitting dim light. But dancing lights is absolutely perfect, and you nailed it. Who said that first? Yeah, Shiba. You crush it on that one, Shiba.
So once cast, I think it's. Oh no! Once cast using this feature.
And that is the and that's the tier for Bahamut. I think you can cut and print it. I don't know exactly what Dragon's Breath does, so I should look that up myself. I know it gives you the ability to breathe dragon fire for a little while.
Yeah.
But
it's basically burning hands. It's concentration burning hands, but you have options for the damage type.
Okay, cool. So it can be any any dragon breath weapon, which is cool. That
Mhm.
feels right. The components are a hot pepper, delightful. For anyone, I don't know if we've talked about this much on stream. I think at one point might have mentioned it, but if you ever read the components on spells, all of them are just puns. So for Dragon's Breath, it's a hot pepper, implying that you eat the hot pepper and then you're like a cartoon character, begin to breathe flame, or very much like Euchonkus did in a recent adventure.
Yes.
Literally ate a hot pepper and then breathed breathed fire as a result.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, that's a good point. I think these are just cast at level 2.
um, a dragon's okay, cool. Yep. Whoop. And let me see something else. So, how powerful? Let's evaluate the power level on this. You gain, and as it is written, right now you can cast one of those spells once a day. You gain a language, and you gain this kind of niche thing of knowing where metallic dragons are. So overall, this isn't that powerful. The DC is high, but maybe this could be a rare item if we bumped it back down to a 13. Because boons like this, I
Mhm.
think they're often underestimated in power, because
Mhm.
once you drink this potion, you just have these abilities forever and nothing can take it away from you. It doesn't require attunement, it doesn't require any resources to use or maintain these abilities other than, the concentration, say, for a spell. So it's very good, despite them only being 2 second level spells and then a very niche ability. Uh, but I don't know if it's necessarily very rare. I would tentatively drop the DC down to 13 and then call it a rare item. What do you think?
Um.
I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
I could go either way on that.
Wait, is it? Do we have it so that we're supposed to be doing common motions and Dragon's Breath each once per day, right?
The way it's phrased, it read to me like you get either one of those once per
Uh,
day.
I guess we could just do. I would think you'd want to be able to do. This. So you can cast each of these spells
Um,
once, maybe somewhere. Where would that go then?
what level is Dragon's Breath cast at? Okay, yeah, that's already
Second
taken
level.
care of. So I remember a certain item that casted at level 9. I do not know the item of which you speak, but please regale me, Shiba.
Oh yeah, that was the week you weren't here for delves.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Who breathed level
uh,
9?
Kyle almost murdered all of us, and then I almost murdered everyone
I haven't had
because
the
there was
opportunity to go back and watch it yet.
yeah, that was a crazy delves, and I played every single class.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I multi-classed into every single.
I thought you were only allowed to do 4.
On roll 20.
I thought that was actually part of the rules, and that's why Roll20 did
Uh,
that.
I have no idea, but I'm
Fair
kind of
enough.
curious.
What level were you?
13. So I had 2 levels in Warlock and 1 level in everything else.
Warlock seems like the one that would be the one.
Yeah.
If you're doing what you're doing. Not because it's the best necessarily, but because it's just a warlocky kind of thing.
Hmm.
How did you do? Were you powerful?
I wasn't powerful, but I was fairly effective.
How do you feel? Did you have a lot of utility?
Yeah, I had 16 cantrips and 26 first level spells.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That
Yeah.
sounds about correct. Uh, your spell slots. Actually, you probably had a lot of spell slots.
Oh
Actually,
yeah,
because
I was all right on spell slots.
all right. So I think this is the tier Bahamut. Interesting. Interesting little item here. Let's move on to. Actually, you know what? Let's take this opportunity to take a brief respite, and we will come back in a moment and continue. Continue our brewings and goings on and happenings here in DnDTime Brews. But yeah, for now, let us take a brief break to refresh our drinks.
Okay.
And we are gone now.
now.
We're back! And it's good to be that way.
Mm.
Hello, everybody. We are about to move on to our next magic item. Without further ado, the next one that y'all voted for was Cumulo. Cumulo the Angry Nimbus.
Cumulo the Angry Nimbus.
Cumulo the Angry Nimbus. I said Numbus. And Numbus is a funny insult that I highly recommend at some point. So, you Numbus.
You Numbus.
What a Numbus that
What
guy is.
a Numbus.
Cumulo. Crowley,
Sounds like an insult the Leggy Boys would use.
hey,
But they're all dead.
we're the Leggy Boys, you Numbus.
Mhm.
The Leggy Boys all dead. Nothing is ever all dead in the land of DnDTime. Of course, at least no, the Leggy Boys are gone. They're never coming back.
Oh, I liked the Leggy Boys.
I loved the Leggy Boys. They were one of my favorite throwaways. I love Cumulo. Banshee says, is it just going to be like a free spiritual weapon? I was thinking along those lines, but I like the idea that Cumulo, and tell me what you think of this. Cumulo is, I think, just a sentient spell casting focus.
Ooh, yeah, that could work. I like that.
And maybe you get like a +1 to attack and damage rolls or something regarding some spells or something along those lines. But additionally, maybe he gives you another cool pool of spells, or maybe like a charge-based system where you can cast some, thunder and lightning type of spells from Cumulo. And other than that, he's a spellcasting focus.
Yeah, I like that.
That just follows you around. So I think Cumulo requires attunement.
Yes, definitely requires
which is, I think, cool. And I think we're moving into like a spellcasting focus with power that also does spells. That's probably rare.
Yeah.
Crowley, who is Cumulo? I feel like,
Cumulo is he's just an angry little big cloud. He's like little but also big.
I feel like the description for Cumulo is going to have to be on your hands because I cannot fathom the depths of Cumulo's character.
Let me think. All right, so Cumulo.
This first. Start us with
this
cloud.
This tiny, or not tiny. This small. So he's like the size of a halfling.
I'm picturing. Yeah, that's almost exactly what I pictured. For anyone who watches Big Mom, for anyone who watches One Piece, the character Big Mom as a cloud that follows around, I'm picturing something like that.
So he floats above your head.
Oh, wait a minute. Can we put the fly spell on Cumulo so you can hop on Cumulo and ride him around?
Yes, 100% we can.
Oh, I want it so much.
So he floats above your head, and what else does? And I think he's always he's got a face of some sort.
Yeah.
So this
it's
an
angry face. An angry face.
This small cumulonimbus cloud has a face carved out of his fluffiness.
I don't think we need to say that he has a face. I think we can just say he floats above your head, and maybe just something about how he glowers in anger frequently, and imply through context clues that he does have a face with which to glower.
Forever scowling.
At all but the most fervent worshippers of the Great Big Cloud.
Oh yeah. Oh, worshipers. Capitalized.
I'm glad we're doing a cloud. I'm really glad that we're doing a cloud on the time that you're on Brews.
Oh yeah.
Really. It just feels correct. Let me get the one of the War Mage +1 spellcasting focus text. Or maybe this doesn't even... No, I don't even think this is a +1 spellcasting focus. I think it just has a suite of spells that it can do. Because that just doesn't feel right to me. So let me get the...
we've got common language in here?
The item of cast spells with charges template. Copy. Cumulo. I think just Cumulo has 7 charges.
Yeah. While attuned
to is Cumulo gendered? Is Cumulo him or them or?
I imagine Cumulo as a him.
Okay, well, attuned to him.
Him. Said one or more of trying to cast one of the following spells.
Get it charges because he's lightning.
Oh.
Using your spell save DC and spellcasting ability modifier. Do we want to use? I don't know if does Cumulo have his own. It makes sense to me that Cumulo would have his own save DC and spellcasting ability modifier because he's just your buddy that flies around with you.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get the precise text that one would use for this. We'll look at stats for that. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, what spells do you think is going to going to be chosen? Fly. We got fly.
Yeah, fly. Thunderwave. Probably. Probably Thunderwave. Not Thunder Smite. What? I mean, Lightning Bolt. Call Lightning and Lightning Bolt. Potentially.
Oop, I gotta scroll back up.
I mean, those are the main storm. Gust of Wind. That could be one.
Gust of Wind, I like for sure. He just kind of huffs and puffs.
Mm-hmm.
Frogs has found a good pick for Cumulo. I look forward to seeing that. I assume it will be in the Discord chat. Banashiba asks, would it be too confusing to replace attuned with bonded? My instinct is
stick with
yes.
Yeah.
But my heart tells me, I mean, you share a special bond with Cumulo. We're not about our spirit here. I think we need to go with attuned, but when you say
I have a solution though.
Nicely done, Crowley.
Yeah.
This is what we pay you the big bucks for.
Mm-hmm.
You can use this as an action to expend one or more of his charges to cast one of the following spells from charges to have. I think rather than to cast one of the following spells from it, I think we say to have him cast. Have him cast one of the following spells. And are any of them? If we're not going to do any attack spells, because I don't think we have any right now, I think we can just
Thunderwave.
Well, damaging spells, yes, but spells that require
attack
bonus.
Yeah.
And then we can just do in parentheses save DC 15 or save DC 14, and we'll make him. We'll come back and look at the save DC once we know exactly what spells we want to do. So what spells do we want to do? Thunderwave. Yeah, I think just Thunderwave is a great start. 1 charge per spell level and works perfectly for Thunderwave.
I feel like he'd be mostly Thunder thing.
Yep, I think Thunderwave.
Thunderwave, Gust of Wind.
I really wanted Fly. My heart's set on it.
We can still do Fly. We can still have Fly. Maybe Thunderstep.
Thunderstep doesn't feel right to me.
No?
I don't know why, because that seems like it doesn't seem like he would teleport you and himself to another location. You know what I mean? Like Gust of Wind, I can picture Cumulo huffing and puffing and blowing in the space. Like Fly, I picture you hopping onto Cumulo. Thunderwave, he just makes thunder. But Thunderstep, the concentration aspects of it feel funky to me. If you know what I mean.
Is there concentration on Thunderstep?
Yeah, I think Thunderstep's a multi-round
I thought it was just the one instant.
Am I thinking of?
Yeah, it's just instant.
What's the one that I'm thinking of?
Far Step?
Far Step, maybe. Are we going For very rare or legendary here, because this is strong. No, I don't think we're in a territory where we're anywhere near very rare or legendary.
No,
Like
no.
if you look at say a
Wand of Fireballs.
yeah, Wand of Fireballs, that's a rare item, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is overpowered obviously for being a rare item, but it lets you cast fireballs like 7 times, and that is considered a rare item.
Or like 2, or like 1 real big one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Ideal's Thunderstep Elemental. Yeah, I was combining Ideal's Thunderstep Elemental alongside of the spell Far Step, which lets you teleport with a concentration over time. But you're definitely right. That was where my mind was at. The Thunderstep Elemental is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those classic items that you make the ring of creating dumb elementals, and you put enough kind of leeway on it where you don't make it exactly clear what the item does, and it becomes monstrous.
Oh yeah.
And the ring of creating dumb elementals has proven to be probably a very rare item, the way that it functions.
Legacy items.
Legacy items we've tried to improve, but there's still some floating around. Right hand of the monkey.
Instant wall.
Instant wall. God, dude. A level 5 spell. So, lightning bolt.
Yeah. I think it's just lightning bolt. He just shoots lightning out of his mouth.
Lightning bolt. Some say dry, while others lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt. Is it cast at level 5?
I think it's just a 5th level spell. You just lightning bolt, 5th level.
Mm-hmm.
You do double parentheses if we want to do that, because normally 5th level would be in parentheses after, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
5th level, and then another.
I'm gonna go look at the Staff of Power, because that's the only thing that's
help me, please.
Staff.
Ring of Dumb Elementals, aka Ring of Living Spells. Also, good to see you hanging out there. Yeah, precisely.
Okay, it's I'll just
5th level version. Oh,
that's
nicely done.
That's how Staff of Power does it. So
you can shoot one big lightning bolt a day, and then still do a couple thunder waves if you want. And I feel like I want one more utility-ish spell on this. Oh, we have Gust. We're gonna do Gust of Wind, weren't we?
Yeah.
A Gust of Wind is 1st level, right?
2nd level.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly the level that I wanted that to be.
So 2 charges, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Gust of Wind. Parentheses. 2 charges. And these are some good spells. These are some good spells that you get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Regains all expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll a d20 on a 1.
Are we doing that, or should we just...
The reason I want to do it is because instead of Cumulo is destroyed, we can just write
Cumulo leaves.
Cumulo dies.
Oh, no!
Because I love that. And now there's so much dramatic tension in using Cumulo, where when you use up all of Cumulo's abilities, there's just the risk, like, I've pushed Cumulo too far.
Just looks tired and angry, breathing heavy.
I actually really like that.
Oh, God, poor Cumulo.
All right. Do we want to give it anything else in terms of spells? Is there any other kind of, like, I was wondering if there was like a goofy kind of utility spell that we give it. I can't actually think of anything. I think it's in a good spot.
Do we give them Shocking Grasp for free?
It's kind of my thought on that one. We could. I don't think I would change anything if we did. Well, no, the thing that would change, you know what that would change? We'd have to put spell attack on there, which I like that it's just save DC.
Yeah. Yeah, that is nicer. Oh yeah, that's good from Shiva. We need to dissipates / evaporates. Evaporates and dies. Poor Cumulo. If any of you kill Cumulo, If anyone pulls Cumulo, you kill Cumulo. Echonkus is coming for you.
All right, Cumulo. I think Cumulo's done, which I think
Yeah.
means we're gonna have time for one more of these. I think we can slip in one last Bartholomog's Bartholonog,
Mm-hmm.
which is a cute one. Bartholomog's Bartholo Nog. Wondrous item, uncommon.
This is just potion of poison, right?
Let me just this is a potion of poison.
Poison.
And done.
All right. So what is this actually? What's your idea for this?
That's a great question. My idea for this was this was just eggnog created by Bartholomog.
Mhm.
That's all I had. So this viscous
Oh.
nog.
Oh, it sounds so disgusting.
Viscous
Written
tan
out, like
eggnog.
described.
Well, that's because eggnog is disgusting.
Yeah.
Viscous tan eggnog was created by Bartholomew was an Eton, correct? I'm not remembering that incorrectly. For those of
I
you who
think so.
battled once Bartholomew is the cat version of Bartholomew, that is competing with Bartholomew, who's trying to outdo Bartholomew. This viscous tan eggnog was
God.
oh god was created by the Eton Bartholomew in hopes of outdoing Bartholomew in Christmas drink sales. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've hoisted by my own petard. So, Bartholomew, let me look at the potions again. When you drink this eggnog, drink this eggnog, you become giddy with solstice spirit.
And mildly sick.
I think basically it gives you what I'm picturing is kind of like a potion of Christmas haste. I'm sorry, a potion of solstice haste, where at the end of it you do have to vomit the nog up.
Yeah, that's where you.
While it's in your system, it's doing some really good.
That's where you freeze up at the end.
Bartholomew. And he says, does Bartholomew employ villains who strangely end up acting as heroes most of the time? That angle hasn't been taken yet, but I'll make sure I message Jeremy that he should be doing that. And then, the forgotten one, Bartholomew, because that's Jeremy's character. Bartholomew hiring Rhyme Slime for a talent show would be funny. I'm the Rhyme Slime, and I'm here to say that I'll drink that eggnog on another day.
Or never. Eggnog tomorrow.
That's a Hello from the Magic Tavern reference.
Yeah.
That only I would possibly have gotten. There's no way anyone but me knew what that was.
If Jeremy were here, he might have.
Maybe. Throw up in a mug to get a second dose and to discuss your friend as you drink your own bar. That's a little much. It's a little much for the land of D&D time.
Do we want to say eggnog or do we just want to say nog? It sounds way worse than just nog.
This viscous tan nog. When I say the reason I call it Bartholomew is because when I say eggnog, I do just call it nog.
Okay.
That's just my own. And I don't know. It feels right to me to call it nog. I said eggnog because I don't think other people use that particular shortening. What's the word? Truncating of the word eggnog.
I'm gonna look up.
So what happens to you when you drink the nog? I think.
Oh, nog has a definition, so we might want to actually specify eggnog.
Is nog
Because a nog is a small block or peg of wood.
I'm into it. Oh wait, no, I'm into it. I don't care. This viscous tin. Yeah, okay, eggnog. But let's get into the gritty of what eggnog does, and that is slow. Really, when I think of what eggnog would do, is slow you down. It's just the thickest. It's just the thickest, most. I don't like eggnog very much.
I've never had eggnog, so I wouldn't.
Slenderbad33 says the only way to digest the eggnog is to consume copious amounts of rum. That is, I think, a pretty good strategy for. I think. All right, here's what I think that the Bartholomag's Bartholonog is. I think it has very appealing packaging, and you can attempt to give it to an enemy. And they have to make a wisdom saving throw to resist chugging this nog. And then once they chug the nog, they become poisoned.
Yeah.
I think that's a better angle on this, because I can't think of any reason I would ever want to drink the Bartholonog. As an action, you may present this carton of eggnog to another creature. To another humanoid.
Just humanoid, or I don't know. Yeah.
Does because I'm just picturing you giving it to like a Tarask, and the Tarask being like, yes, I'd like to try this.
Maybe a minimum intelligence level.
I just didn't want to. I thought that too, but I just didn't want to use that mechanic because it's just
Okay.
a pain in the ass to write. But maybe that's the right way to do it. Their creature.
Because I feel like you get an ogre to drink this, right? And they're.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a good point. This carton of eggnog to another creature. Just to another creature.
Yeah. I mean, Tarask can't be charmed anyway, right? And that's that I think is the stipulation. They can't be charmed.
That creature must succeed on a DC 13 wisdom saving throw, or use their reaction to accept and drink the Bartholonog. Creature that drinks this eggnog becomes poisoned for 1 minute. Creatures that are immune to the what's the is there a thing that uses that phrasing? Because I know there's things that, like, if you're immune to charm, you're immune to this.
Yeah.
Condition.
Sleep might use that. Let me go.
Unaffected.
I think that's pretty much right, but I'll make.
Wouldn't it be a charisma save because you're trying to convince them? That logically makes sense, but in D&D, it's almost never charisma save. Charisma save is more like when it's testing their spirit. For example, if this was a more spiritual Nog journey that you were taking them on, then I would say yes. But wisdom save to like trick people, just like in the same way where like a dominate person tests wisdom rather than charisma, even though it's kind of a charm-like effect. Eggnog, originally called egg and grog. Is that real? Is that a real thing? Because that makes a lot of sense. I can definitely feel it.
Creatures that are.
And maybe we can come back and grab the exact language on that at another time.
Well, I've got it here.
Oh, you got it.
So yeah, I think it's. Well, I sort of get it. So, whoops. Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. Immune to being charmed. I think this would be automatically succeed the save. Pretty sure.
Yeah, and another thing I really like about this, one thing I really like about this ability is that the Bartholomew, like the Bartholomew, even though it's a consumable, it's always going to go off because if they don't successfully drink the nog's still in the bottle. You don't like burn the nog if they don't drink it, which I think is like a cool effect for a consumable. So eventually, you're going to get someone with the Bartholomew's Bartholomew.
Do we want it to be because the one problem is if you offer it to something that's immune to poison, you don't realize it won't go. Then it's wasted. So should it be the poison condition or should it be like disadvantage on blank for what?
The poison condition just feels correct to me. I think someone immune to poison would be immune to the Bartholomew. That makes a lot of sense to me, just like from a logic.
Oh, so creatures immune. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're immune to poison and you drink the Bartholomew, like
you're fine.
If you can drink poison, you can drink this bad eggnog. I don't know. I think that's a good spot for the Bartholomew. I think we're done. Which means that we're done. That's the end of the show. It's 11 o'clock, or 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So let's wrap up.
We're both on Eastern Time.
Yeah. Oh wow. We are one. We are united in time and space. Not really in space. We're pretty close together. All right. So that's going to wrap up this episode of DnDTime Brews. Thank you, everyone, for coming to hang out. An extra thank you, please, a round of applause for Crowley, a.k.a. Farfel13, for filling in for Jeremy, stepping up, and doing a great job. I absolutely adored the deck of some things. That was our, I would say, highlight of the evening. The Hireling, there's so many good ones here.
Oh, yeah.
But I absolutely adore this item, even though it's bad for D&D time.
Oh yeah, terrible for D&D time. Absolutely awful.
absolutely terrible. So yeah, we got some fun ones here. These will make their way into the bet. We haven't had a single one of the items from Brews get pulled yet, which is pretty wild.
Wow.
At this point, I would have thought like at least one of them would have made it out, but like, no, none yet. But perhaps this is the round where we'll finally begin to see them. Thank you very much for everyone who came and for hanging out and for giving us ideas. Vasil Zeju. I know your name now. I know how to pronounce your name now, Vasil Zeju. I finally have it. The Forgotten One, Bada Shiba, Slender Matt 33, thank you. Reflected 10-8, thank you very much. I love you all very much, and I appreciate that you spend your time here and join us in making some items. And I know that Jeremy would say the same thing if he were here, but unfortunately he could not make it tonight. But you will see him again very soon on D&D Time Talks on Wednesday. And on the subject of the other things that we do on the stream, we do D&D Time Talks. Actually, before that, we do D&D Time Worlds, which is a stream I run on Tuesdays, which is going to be Tuesday at 9 o'clock. It's going to be the last episode of the season finale. For those of you who come and hang out for D&D Time Worlds, the season finale, I think is going to be pretty fun. I have finally figured out exactly what it is I'm going to do for it, and it's going to be a very non-traditional play session that I think everyone's going to get a chance to get in on if you're hanging out on Worlds. So make sure you come and join us for our dramatic conclusion, so to speak, about Chiefs' RIP Worlds. Worlds is not necessarily gone for all time. I think Worlds is going to come back. The form of it's going to change probably a little bit.
Just on hiatus.
But yeah, and it's definitely going to be on hiatus until after we take our winter break. But we've talked about our winter break schedule a couple times, so I'm not going to go back through that. I'm sure we'll do it a couple more times before the time goes. D&D Time Beats, absolutely. We're going to be doing D&D Time Beats sometime after the winter break. It might be the first Tuesday stream I do because I want to do it very badly, and that's going to be a stream where I just do music on stream. It's going to be fun.
That should be cool.
Yeah,
I know nothing about music.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to do not just like creating music, because I think that would be boring for example, you, Crowley. You know nothing about music. But I'm also going to be like talking about music theory and doing a lot of different stuff like that. So very excited for that. I've never seen you actually play. And I don't know if you will. I'm going to try and do some live playing and get some stuff. I've worked on some tech to get like a cool soundboard thing. I can make some live loop tracks. But I'm mostly probably going to be doing a lot of like digital music creation because it's more, it's a little bit easier to do that on stream because I can use, show you my FL Studio files and me arranging things. Although I'll have at least my keyboard plugged in and stuff. So that's going to be that, but that's a long way off. I've gotten distracted in talking about the things I have planned for beats, or DnDTime Tones, maybe. Who knows?
Sounds like the band. The DnDTime Tone.
We're the DnDTime Tones. Other things. Wednesday, DnDTime Talks, and then Friday it's going to be Pete and Jeremy's DnDTime, and by that I mean it's going to be Jeremy and Jeremy's DnDTime, as I have another obligation and I cannot make it on Friday. As we're getting closer to the holidays, both of our schedules are getting a little bit tighter, so it's hard to make everything fit, but we will be with you up until the 21st. DnDTime Tunes is also very good. And that's pretty much all for announcements. I want to say thank you one more time. Crowley, do you have anything that you want to shout out or plug or say?
Thanks for having me. This has been fun.
Yes, delightful. Thanks for joining me.
Delves next week, I think.
Yes.
I think that's the plan.
Delves next week. Delves next week is going to be possibly the last traditional Delves for a long time.
Yeah.
As we're going to be moving and transitioning into some new content after the Christmas break in Delves as well. So check it out. Do you know who you're going to play yet, Crowley?
No.
Are you thinking about breaking out I was on the fence between the one that I liked the most, which would be Fern, and the one that I always wanted to break out, but wasn't ready for yet, which was a character you naturally haven't seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've thought about should I play Marvelo, but he might be a little too insane.
I think either way we should all agree. We should all agree to either do our greatest hits or do
something completely new. Yeah. For that, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you'll just know at the time when you see what characters are there.
I know there's going to be faction stuff that's going to be important from things Jeremy has said, so that can muddy the water. But other than that, if you have any complaints, at Danger05 Bacon on course. Twitter.
I think that's going to do it for tonight. So, in that case, I'm Pete.
I'm Crowley.
And this is DnDTime Brews. Thank you all very much. Good night.
Oh, this is DnDTime Brews. Super sync.
That was the least sync. Crowley, you set a record for the least synced we've ever been, ever.
Goal accomplished.
Ever. Goodbye.